Okay, so this next video shows another super powerful capability that we added here to our Risk Graph Explorer, which is the org chart, and how we have, in this case, a board, we have a CEO, we have 3 direct reports, and we have then the kind of the team where the platform calls to the platform owner, cross CTO, cross CEO, across the board, and you can actually see, it's quite nice, the chain, right? The chief product officer has a customer service owner who connects to the board, who responds to the CEO and the board, right? And you kind of can see the sequence of events, right? So what we're going to see here is how, as we add risks to the organization, right, you start to have risks that are flowing through here, right? Which is pretty cool, right? So you can see that as we add um, basically, and we provide answers, you basically start to see the fundamentally the risks changing. And what's cool about it is you could see how they arrive. And one of the things that's quite interesting is that we have 2 modes already, because you could see that the CEO in this case, or the board, right, um, receive all these risks. So the CEO in this case is assigned these 3 corporate risk registers directly to him, but you also have these risks that arrive from the risk chain, and that's very important, right? So you basically could see that because somebody, something in holes, arrives because the risk graph says so, right? So that means that these particular risks that exist there, which for example come from here, so you could see that this risk here, so let's say the SRE is holding risk 2, risk 6, risk 9, risk 20, risk 41, and that risk is also now going to exist. Same risks are going to be connected to the platform owner, who now has a couple more risks of itself, and now the CTO has a couple of risks of itself, but also inherits all the risks that we mentioned below, all the way up. So it's pretty cool, right? Because again, same thing, right? So the DPO is assigned a couple of risks, and then that he has, right? And then it also arrives from the risk chain, and then you get the CFO, the same thing, right? And then the CEO, connects the dots. So this is a really powerful capability, because it's how you connect all the dots, right? So if you look at the different scenarios, if you have no agent, you have nothing. If you have a typical kind of agent deployment, you have this kind of shape. If you have a lot of exposure, you get a much bigger set of responsibilities. And you have the govern, you can see it's a much cleaner sort of flow of events. And now we can start to challenge, is those risks in the right place? Because everybody that's going to accept it is going to push back. But this is crazy powerful, because now we start to see the relationships, and we see that no risk then becomes orphan, because every risk will flow upwards, and that's super important.